is good, YouTube? Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis coming to you with a quick video. I wanted to let you guys know I got some new merchandise available, not just t-shirt anymore. I got different type of t-shirt, different type of shirts and logos that you can purchase on my spread shirt, and also hoodies now. We have expanded and added more to the channel and more merchandise for the brand. Thanks for supporting. It will be in the description and the links will be in the comment section below. Thanks for helping me and supporting the movement. Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis. I'm going to check out the video. What is good, YouTube? Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis. I know I'm late, but I want to talk about Bradley Beal getting a contract extension. Something that a lot of people expected him to do and a lot of people didn't want him to do. The man gets a 2-year, $72 million extension. If he does decline his player option for the 2023 season, Bill can get up to a 5-year, $266 million deal in 2020. Bill is now guaranteed $130 million over 4 seasons. I think this is very interesting because we look at the Washington Wizards right now, and they're one of the worst teams in the NBA. A lot of people think that they are the worst. One of the reasons why they think that they can win a lot of games compared to the Hornets and the Knicks is because they have a player like Bradley Beal who can get his own shot. But not only that, a guy that can literally set up his teammates at this point in his career. One thing I love about Bradley Beal is that you can make an argument that he has gotten better each and every season of his career. He's a hard worker. He finds ways to innovate himself, to continue to critique himself, and he has made the changes. And I love me some Bradley Beal. I had him over Kemba Walker for my All-NBA third team, and I wasn't mad that he didn't get it, but I feel like he was just that good as a player. And when you see Bradley Beal getting his extension, it's like he just deserves it. I don't think they giving it to him just to give it to him. They want him to be around. And the guy is only 26 years old, so it's not like he's 30 years old and they're trying to give him a last contract. This is a guy that still has a lot of great basketball left. And last year, he played all 82 games, and that's what he did the last 2 years in Washington. And I think that's something that we forget. When he came into the NBA, he missed a lot of games the first couple years, and the last 2 years for him to play every single game, get 36 minutes a game, get over 18 attempts and over 4 free throw attempts. That's a lot of bang and a lot of wear and tear. And for him to still suit up, even though John Wall is not there for a majority of these last 2 seasons, it just shows you that he's determined. He really wants to improve this team, and he really is committed and loyal to Washington. And they have shown the same thing as they made it a priority to get this deal done. And his assist has went up as a playmaker. I feel like that's something that I wanted him to improve on, because if you can have the ball in your hands and you can make plays, and so can John Wall, it makes your offense just more dynamic, because now you have 2 guys that can create their own shot, plus create shots for other players, plus you can basically feed other players just off your talent and your ability to draw double teams and your ability to get a lot of attention. And that just make your teammates a lot better, because they're getting easy opportunities and they're getting easy chances, which boosts their confidence up. And then, mainly when you scoring or getting shots, you're very excited and you're very happy. And I think that that's something that the teammates love, especially when Bradley Beal is setting them up. And I love the fact that he has continued that. And he stayed humble. He knew he was going to be an all-star. I thought he'd be an all-star faster than what he was, but he ended up getting there, and I think that he'll get there this year too. Only problem I have with this is the Wizards suck this year. I think that's the only part that I really don't like about this contract is he's going to have to go through another year of nothing. They're not going to win that many games. I don't think that they're really going to be competitive at all. And for him to literally have to go through a season where it's going to be wasted because they're not going to do anything. They're not going to make it to the playoffs. They're not going to do anything but be a lottery team. And it could help them in the future getting John Wall back, the development of Rui, and then obviously having Bradley Beal still on this team does help them in the future if they want to continue to stay with this team. But John Wall and Bradley Beal said it. They want to continue to play with each other. So I think that's another reason why this extension was signed is because he knows that John Wall is going to be back next year. So they still are brothers. They still feel like they is one of the best duos in the entire NBA. And at the end of the day, I respect that because I done seen them go to the playoffs. I done seen them almost go to the Eastern Conference Finals after losing to my Boston Celtics, and they got close and close and close. They just weren't able to get there, and it feels like unfinished business. We have done everything that we could do. They very competitive. They very confident in their skill sets and in their game, and it is kind of crazy that Bradley Beal still feels like after John Wall tore his Achilles and tore his heel that he can still come back and he's willing to wait on him and he's willing to go through a season like he did this year and last year just to play with play with John Wall again. So it just shows the love that they have for each other, the respect that they have for each other, and they really do enjoy being together. And if this deal is for that, then I respect it even more because a lot of people have gave up on John Wall. A lot of people have turned against him because he hasn't accomplished a lot when it comes to individual awards. But also, he's coming off injuries that really affect your movement, and he's the guy that relies a lot on athleticism and speed. And these two injuries, take a lot of that away. But I believe in John Wall. He's the number one pick for a reason. He has become a multiple time All Star. Even in his down year, he still was able to make it to the All Star team in the East. And it just shows you how much players respect and how much the coaches respect John Wall as a player. But also, I really want to see how this team is going to be built when I watch them in the preseason, I like the fact that they're still going out there competing. They still knocking down shots, and this team looked a lot better than a lot of us thought. But at the same time, they're not going to win that many games because they don't play enough defense. And can you really rely on those players for an 82 game season? Just like we seen last year, they just didn't have enough. Even with Jabari Parker, they just didn't have enough. So I really want to see how this team ends up at the end of the season. And I want to see what type of pick they get because John Wall is gone this year. And you know for a fact that they're going to be a lottery team. And if they get the number one pick while still having Rui, Bradley Beal, and John Wall, or they get a top three, top five pick, that could really change this team and really put them on a different stratosphere and in a different direction. So they technically rebuilding, even though they still have two max players on their team, but at the same time, it's mainly due to injury. But this is also a thing that now he a little bit more tradable because now if you trade for Bradley Beal that he's still under contract, so you don't have to worry about him leaving the next year. So that's one thing I want to let y'all know before I end the video is that if you do trade like Brooklyn or Denver, whoever trade for Bradley Beal, if they do get a deal done, now you don't have to worry about him leaving in the offseason. You trade for Anthony Davis, but he can leave. You trade for Dwight Howard, he left the Lakers. You trade for Paul George, and he ended up going to OKC and leaving the next year. So at least if you trade for Bradley Beal, he's under contract for another 2 seasons. So that gives you a safety net. That gives you the ability to think about this whole trade scenario differently because you know that he doesn't have the right to leave unless you really want to trade him for something. So I think that that's very, very important when you look at Bradley Beal now, as he now has 2 more years under contract, and that just changes the way you trade for him, the way you think about him, and then you have the commitment from him. But I think he is going to stay in Washington. I think this is where he wants to be. This is the team that he really wants to play for, and he just loves and playing and being around John Wall, which is very important for your team and your culture. And they have said that since they have been teammates, and it seems like it's not going to end just yet. So we'll have to see where this leads to. But that's about it. Let me know what you guys think. Was it stupid for Bradley Beal? Was it stupid for the Wizards? Was it smart? Do you think this is something that wastes his time? Do you think that John Wall and Bradley Beal can win a championship together? Do you think John Wall can recover and become all-star again? Or do you think that he's just going to be a solid player at the end of the day after these two injuries? Or do you think that, once John Wall come back, they get another lottery pick and the development of Rui helps this team hit a higher ceiling than they did with the Otto Porter team? Or do you think that, hey, this team is going to be broke up eventually? This just adds to the consistency of that. And eventually, John Wall and Bradley Beal are going to be gone in the next 2 to 3 years. Whatever you think, whatever you feel, let me know in the comment section below. Quinn Wade, Basketball Analysis, I'm gone. I read every comment. Thanks for watching. Thanks for people continuing to subscribe. And thanks for the people that enjoy watching my videos. I really appreciate it. And I really do love and enjoy making these videos every single day. And I appreciate the fact that y'all do too. I'm gone. Like this video, check out my older videos on my channel. I have many playlists. I break down rookies, I break down players, I break down summer league. I do cover the draft, and I got a mock draft up already. Not only that, I do podcasts, and I also talk about the game of basketball, whether it comes to summer league, free agency, trade deadline, buyouts, and also I cover top 10 discussions and stuff like that. So you like this type of video, you like the NBA, check out my older videos and my playlists. I enjoy making these videos. You guys enjoy watching.